morning, students. I am Dr. Balarubi, Assistant Professor, Department of Economics. In today's class, we are going to discuss about there are some differences between these basic theory as well as classical theory. So let us discuss about the differences between these classical theory as well as comparison. At the same time, there are some similarities also. So what are the similarities as well as dissimilarities we are going to discuss in today's class, right? So first, let us concentrate on the similarities between these two approaches. So if you see these equations are similar equations. In these Robertson gas balance equation, P is equal to M divided by Kt is quite similar to that of given by the Fisher's equation. See, Fisher's equation is the P is equal to Mv divided by G. So both these equations use the same symbols with the same meaning. The difference is V and K, which are in fact reciprocal to each other. Here V refers to rate of spending and K refers to the extent of holding and not spending. It means when people want to hold more money, they want to spend less, or the velocity of circulation of money will be less. Therefore, by substituting 1 by V for K and 1 by K for V, the two equations can be reconciled. So, this is the first similarity between these two approaches. And the second similarity is same conclusion. See, the conclusion derived from these two approaches are same. So both the approaches lead to the same conclusion. That is, the price level or the value of money depends upon the money supply. In other words, there is direct proportionate relationship between the money supply and price level, and inverse proportionate relationship between money supply and the value of money. If the money supply is double, the price level is also double and the value of money is half. Then the next similarity is same phenomenon of money. See, MV plus M dash V dash, this is the Fisher's equation. M of Robertson and Figgis equation and N of Kim's equation all refers to the same thing. That is the total supply of money. So this is the next similarity. Then another similarity is V and K, two sides of the same phenomenon. So Fisherian as well as Cambridge approaches, they are not at all fundamentally different from each other because they represent two sides of the same phenomenon. The Fisherian approaches emphasizes money as a stock, while these Cambridge approaches stresses money as a loan, right? So this is the fourth similarity between these two approaches. Then let us concentrate on the dissimilarity between these two approaches. Even though there are some similarity, there are some dissimilarity also. Let us concentrate on one by one. First similarity is, so in spite of some similarity, there are the implications of these two approaches. They have some differences also. As Hansen has pointed out, the Marshallian version of this quantity theory, M is equal to Ky. It represents fundamentally new approach to the problem of money and prices. It is not at all true, as it often that the cash balance equation is really the quantity theory in new algebraic terms. So to assert this, to miss entirely the significance of K is the Marshallian equation, there are some important dissimilarity. Let us concentrate on one by one. First dissimilarity is relative stress of supply and demand for money. Fisher's approach stresses the supply of money, whereas the Cambridge approach places more emphasis on the demand for money to hold cash. Second difference, definition of money is also different. See, the approach, these two approaches use the different definitions of money. The Fisherian approach emphasizes the medium of exchange, function of money, whereas the Cambridge approach stresses the store of value, function of money. And the third difference is flow and stock concepts. The Fisherian equation regards money as a flow concept. Money is considered in terms of flow of money expenditures. But the Cambridge version regards money as a stock concept. Money supply refers to the given stock as a particular point of time. So this is the third difference between these two approaches. Then if you see the fourth one, the Fisherian approach mainly gives some importance to the transaction velocity of circulation. See what is the velocity of circulation in this equation? That is v. But this Cambridge version, on the contrary, it gives more stress on the income velocity of the part of income which is held in the cash balance. And the fifth one is nature of P. In both these approaches, the price level, that is P value, is not used identically. In Fisher's version, P is the average price level of all goods. On the contrary, in Cambridge version, P refers to the price of the consumer goods. The next difference is factors affecting B and K. Fisher is concerned about the institutional and technological factors governing how fast individuals can spend their money. That is B value. The Cambridge School, on the other hand, is concerned about economic factors determining what portion of their wealth the public desires to hold in the form of money. The next difference, relationship between M and P. The Fisherian approach maintains that any change in the money value produces proportional changes in the price level. This is because Fisher believes that both velocity and real income are in the long run independent of each other and of money supply. In the Cambridge approach, the price level may change by more or less than money supply. It depends upon what happens to the stock of non-monetary assets and their expected yields on which the Cambridge economists believe the desired cash balances depend. Then the next difference, different approaches to monetary theory. See, both Fisher as well as the Cambridge School lead to the development of two approaches to the monetary theory. Fisher's approach has given rise to an inventory theory of money holding largely for transaction purposes. But on the other hand, the Cambridge approach has been developed into portfolio or capital theoretic approach to monetary demand. So these are the differences between these two approaches. Now, let us concentrate on superiority of these cash balance approach. So, this Cambridge version is superior to the Fisherian version. Why it is superior? There are some reasons for this superiority. First reason is a realistic theory. The Fisher's approach is mechanical in the sense that it maintains a mechanical, that is, a direct and proportional relationship between the money supply and the price level. The Cambridge approach, on the contrary, it provides a realistic analysis. So, by emphasizing K, it introduced the role of human motives in the determination of the price level, right? Then the next superiority reason is complete theory. The Fisher's approach is one-sided because it considers quantity of money to be the only determinant of the value of money or price level. But in this Cambridge approach, both the demand for as well as the supply of money are recognized as real determinants of the value of money. And the third one is broader theory. This Cambridge approach is broader as well as comprehensive because it takes into account income level as well as the changes in the important determinant of the price level. The Fisher's approach ignored the income level and makes the price level dependent upon the quantity of money and the total demand of transaction. Then the next difference is more useful. See, according to this Purihara, the Cambridge equation P is equal to M divided by KT. It is analytically more useful than the Fisher's equation. That is, P is equal to MB divided by T. So, in explaining in explaining money value, it is something superior. So it is very easier to know the amount of cash balances of an individual than to know his expenditure on various types of transactions. Right? Then the next superiority reason is the casual process. See, according to process, the changes in the price level are caused by the changes in the quantity of money. But according to this Cambridge, it is not like that. The price level may change even without a change in the quantity of money. If K changes, given the quantity of money, a desire to keep less money balances will raise the price level and vice versa. Then the next reason is explanation of cyclical fluctuations. See, the variable K in this Cambridge equation is more significant in explaining the trade cycles than the variable B in the Fisher's equation. So, during inflation time, people reduces their cash balances, that is our K, as well as a result of these, the value of money falls as well as price level increases. And on the contrary, during depression period, what will happen? The desire to hold money, that is K, increases. When K increases, as a result, the value of money increases. But what about this price level? Price level reduces. Then the next one is basis of liquidity preference theory. It is Cambridge approach by stressing on the motives for the demand for holding money, provided a foundation for the development of this liquidity preference theory of interest. So this liquidity preference theory is a significant constituent of the modern theory of income and employment, and its emergence has raised the importance of fiscal theory in controlling business cycles. And the eighth one is nature of variables. See, various variables in this Cambridge equation are defined in a better as well as more realistic manner than the Fisher's equation. T in Fisher's equation refers to the total transactions, whereas in this Cambridge equation, T refers to the final goods and services. Similarly, P in this Fisher's version stands for the average price level of goods transferred in a particular time period. But in this Cambridge version, P is the general price level of only final goods. And the next reason is general demand analysis. See, the Cambridge approach is preferred by the economists because it applies the general demand analysis to the special case of money. It inquires into the utility of money, the nature of the budget constraint facing the individual as well as the opportunity cost of holding money as against the other assets. Okay, students, in today's class, just we have discussed what are the differences between these two approaches and what are the similarities between these two approaches and the superiority of this theory. Right? Thank you, students.